Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be figuring out what happens if you shoot at the UFOs in-game. So I saw this post on the Red Dead Mystery subreddit by a user Mangoyeet, who decided to do the exact same thing, trying to shoot the UFOs, and I'll actually show you guys a photo of what they did a little bit later, but it inspired me to do my own test. So I'll leave a link to that post in the description if you want to check it out as well. So in case you guys don't know, there are two at least confirmed UFOs that make an appearance in Red Dead Redemption 2. The first is in this shack in New Hanover. It's one of the few shacks that you can visit in-game. And if you go to this place for the first time, you're going to be noticing that it's kind of old, worn down, decrepit. It's filled with bunk beds and people that seem to be laying under sheets, and everyone is dead. They're just skeletons at this point. And you might be wondering what the heck actually went on at this location. And there's this sort of like desk at the end of the cabin where it looks like the leader sits. And there was a letter too called Mysterious Sermon. And it says, at the second hour under the half moon, by the great love and grace of our Savior Kuwaiwaba, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Voyager of time and galaxies, we cast off our corporal shells, so his vessel can take our spirits to the promised realm, to live in peace and power until the 2000th year, when we will return for the new chosen and worship once again at the peak of Mount Shann. In his love, we rejoice always. So there's a couple of different meanings behind this cabin and the mysterious sermon. So the first thing is that at this cabin at 2 a.m., a UFO will appear. So we'll see that in a bit. And it also references Mount Shann as the location of another UFO. Now, in case you guys are wondering what the heck this is based off of, this is actually, I guess, an Easter egg off of a real-life cult called the Heaven's Gate. And the Heaven's Gate cult essentially did this exact same thing. They thought that this comet was going to come over Earth and a UFO was going to abduct them. So what they did is they rented out this cabin, they all got into bunk beds, and they basically just waited there until a UFO came to get them. And obviously that never happened, so all of them ended up dying. Now, I don't know all the specific details on Heaven's Gate. I think they still have like a website up that hasn't been like updated since the 1990s or something along those lines. But that's why this cabin looks like it does. It's because it's based off of a real life cult that did something similar to this, expecting a UFO to appear. So now that you know that background information, let's flash forward to 2 a.m. And as soon as you walk into the cabin, you're going to be met with this mysterious music, a green glow overhead, and the UFO is going to arrive. Now, for this, I wanted to try two weapons. I wanted to try a sniper rifle, as I felt like that would give me the best range, and I also brought my bow because that had dynamite arrows, and I felt that would work pretty well. So when the UFO first arrived, I tried to get my sniper rifle out, but that was not having it. Now, I also recommend if you want to try this for yourself, you do this in first person. I think you can look up a little bit more in first person, so it might make it easier to hit the UFO. And the UFO is going to bounce around to a bunch of different spots above the cabin, so it might take you a little bit to line up a shot. But I eventually pulled out the dynamite arrows, and I was eventually able to land a shot on the UFO. And the first thing that happened is we shot the lights out. So those glowing white rings that you can see, there's like a small center one, a larger exterior one, and then the ones on the edge of the ship, those all went out. So that's certainly kind of mysterious right there, that shooting the UFO literally knocks the lights out. And I don't know if like pieces of the UFO are falling down or like debris is hitting us, but it is certainly interesting what's occurring. Now, this UFO will stay here for about 2 hours, from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. And that should give you time to connect on a lot of different shots. And something was happening as I was noticing I was hitting the UFO. It was tilting sideways. We were literally causing the UFO to tilt sideways. You can see the cabin is no longer glowing green because that sort of tractor beam is now not even looking at us. The UFO is almost on its side, which is so strange, the fact that this UFO is like literally sideways, and then when 4 a.m. rolled around, it ended up disappearing. So shooting these explosive arrows at the UFO literally caused this vessel to turn sideways and have this sort of weird effect, and we also turned the lights off on it completely as well. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't like an alien that hopped out or did anything like that, but it was kind of neat to see this actually occur. because the only other time I have interacted with this UFO was the very first time I experienced it, and I was like too afraid to do anything. I was just sort of witnessing it as it happened. So that is the first interaction that you can have with the UFO right there. Again, it takes place in this shack called Hani Bethel, which is just above the Heartland Overflow and is north of Emerald Ranch. So if you want to go there and check it out for yourself, you can. Again, it's pretty cool and very mysterious. Now, the next UFO location is going to be on top of Mount Shann. So I'm sure you guys all know where Mount Shann is. It is to the northwest of Strawberry. And for this to happen, you're going to need to be at the very top of the mountain and have it be anywhere from, I think, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Now, you need to be at the tallest, very top, tallest point of the mountain. So where I'm standing right now is where you need to be. There's a couple of different peaks on Mount Shann. This is the one you want to be on. Now, I would recommend getting here a little bit earlier than like nighttime, just so you can be ready, because I don't know exactly when the UFO drops down. Again, it could be 1 a.m., it could be 3 a.m. And if you get here early enough, you can certainly appreciate the view that's going on here. You can see so much on top of Mount Shann, and the view you get is absolutely incredible here. So for this selection, since I knew this UFO was going to be much further away, I wanted to make sure I had 2 sniper rifles. So I had a scoped sniper rifle, which is the rare rolling block rifle, and then I had the Springfield rifle, which was unscoped. I didn't know which one I would need, and I was also using explosive rounds for this too. I figured this would give me the most punch that I could hit at the UFO. So from there, essentially, we just had to wait until it was 1 to 3 a.m., and again, you want to make sure you're standing in the right spot. If you're not, the UFO will not spawn. And once you make it to the top part of this peak, if you are facing the south, you should notice a UFO will drop out of the sky and sort of hover in the air, almost at your eye level. So when this happened, I aimed in, I went into deadeye because this thing was bopping up and down, and I fired my best shot, and it knocked the lights out. All the lights on this UFO got knocked out. Pretty cool. Now, the second I did that, that thing took off. Like, I was hoping to get a better view of it, but it vanished real quick. So unlike the one in the shack, this one does not hang around for you to just shoot a bunch of bullets at. You know, once you shoot at that thing once, it's gone. It takes off pretty quickly. And if we take a look at the map here, you guys can see where we're located on Mount Shann, and you can also see just about where the UFO was. It kind of looks like it was above Hawkeye Creek, just about. So not right in Strawberry, but right above it. I didn't know if there was anything significant underneath where the UFO was. It's actually something I didn't check out in this video. I didn't know what to expect down there. Now, getting back to something I mentioned earlier, you remember I mentioned that user on the Red Dead Mystery subreddit Mangoyeet? Well, they did the exact same thing. They shot the Mount Shann UFO with the explosive sniper rifle, and what happened to them is it caused the UFO to freeze. It actually didn't leave. As you guys can see there, it's almost 8 a.m. in this guy's screenshot, and the UFO is still there, hanging over Mount Shann, which is so weird to see this UFO in the daytime. But that's kind of strange. I wonder what was different between my interaction, which is shooting the UFO and having it instantly vanish, and his interaction, which he shot the UFO and it just stayed there. So this is definitely a pretty interesting experiment, and I wonder if there's almost more you could do. I might go back and try this with different weapons, different types of ammo, but I felt like, at least as far as the Mount Shann UFO goes, the only way in which you could hit something like that would be with the sniper rifle, and I'm not sure what else you could do with the shack one at Hani Bethel. Like, you couldn't throw dynamite up, a fire bottle's not going to work. So I felt like we got the best out of these experiments here, but this kind of makes me wonder if there's another UFO out there. It does seem kind of random that there's only 2. You know, maybe there's a third that we just haven't experienced yet, or no one has found out how to trigger. It wouldn't be surprising if Rockstar does have something like that still hidden without there in the game, but at least as of right now, we just know that there's the Mount Shann UFO and that there is the Hani Bethel Shack UFO too. And in case you guys are wondering, I'm not sure if the Mount Shann UFO is connected in any way to the Hani Bethel Shack UFO. You don't have to trigger one in order to get the other one to show up. You can go to the Mount Shann one first, then you can go to the Shack one, or vice versa like I did. So I think in a way they're connected because the mysterious sermon mentions it, but one isn't required in order to trigger the other one to spawn in. So as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. What do you think this means that we can shoot the lights out of these UFOs in Red Dead Redemption 2? And what do you think happened when that one UFO started turning sideways on us? And also, let us know if you think there's more to this mystery, or do you think we've covered everything in this video today? Let us know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily Red Dead Redemption 2 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.